Picture this: Gavin Newsom, California's governor, steps into the national spotlight. He's not just another politician. He's a man who spent years navigating the complexities of America's most populous state, a place that often feels like its own country. Newsom's every move is watched, analyzed, and debated not just in California but across the nation. His policies on climate change, homelessness, and healthcare have made headlines, and his style, confident, sometimes brash, has earned him both admirers and critics. He's the face of progressive America, polished, ambitious, and always ready for the next big stage. Newsom's charisma is undeniable, and he's become a symbol for those who believe in bold, forward-thinking leadership. But with that spotlight comes pressure. Every decision he makes is scrutinized, every word dissected. He knows that if he stumbles, the whole country will see. On the other side, Jackson Price, Fox News primetime juggernaut, thrives on outrage and tough questions. Price is a master of the media game, commanding millions of viewers every night with his sharp wit and relentless pursuit of controversy. He's built his career on challenging the status quo, especially when it comes to liberal leaders like Newsom. Price is the voice for those who see California as a warning, not a model. He's quick to highlight the state's struggles, rising crime, high taxes, and homelessness, and he's not afraid to ask the uncomfortable questions. For his audience, Price is a truth teller, someone who cuts through political spin and exposes what he sees as the failures of progressive policies. These two are political opposites, different worlds, different visions for America. Newsom dreams of a country that leads on climate action and social justice, while Price warns of the dangers of overreach and government control. Their clash isn't just about policy, it's about the soul of the nation and which direction it should take. When Newsom agrees to a live, no-holds-barred interview on Price's show, it's not just TV, it's a heavyweight bout. The stakes? Sky high. Both men know that what happens tonight could echo for months, maybe even years, in the halls of power and in the minds of voters. For Newsom, it's a chance to prove he can handle the toughest critics and maybe audition for a bigger role. He's aware that every answer, every gesture could be replayed endlessly on social media and cable news. If he can hold his own, he might just convince skeptics that he's ready for the national stage, maybe even the White House. For Price, it's about creating a viral moment, catching Newsom off guard, exposing his policies. He wants to ask the questions no one else will, to push Newsom until he slips. A single soundbite could dominate headlines, boost ratings, and cement Price's reputation as the king of cable news. This isn't an interview, it's a battle for the national narrative. Both men are fighting not just for themselves, but for the millions who see their own hopes and fears reflected in this showdown. The outcome could shape public opinion, influence elections, and redefine what it means to lead in America. Both men know millions are watching, waiting for fireworks. The tension is palpable, the anticipation electric. Across the country, people are glued to their screens, ready to cheer, jeer, or simply witness history in the making. Newsom wants to show he's more than a California liberal. He's a fighter. He's determined to prove that his vision isn't just for the West Coast, but for all of America. Tonight, he's not backing down. Price wants to show Newsom's vision is a disaster. He's ready to challenge every claim, to highlight every flaw, and to make sure his viewers see the risks of following Newsom's lead. The stage is set for a showdown that could change both their careers. In this arena, there are no easy answers, no safe spaces, just two men, their ideas, and the judgment of a nation. And everyone's tuning in to see who comes out on top. In a country divided, this is more than just a debate. It's a moment that could tip the scales, and everyone wants a front row seat. Price Point is cable news command center for the culture war. Dark blues, chrome, and crisis headlines everywhere. The set is designed to feel both urgent and imposing, with every detail carefully curated to keep viewers on edge. The lighting is dramatic, casting long shadows that heighten the sense of drama, while the scrolling headlines never let you forget that something big is always happening. Price sits at his emperor's desk, ready to put guests on trial. His posture is commanding, his gaze unwavering, as if he's presiding over a high-stakes courtroom. Every guest knows they're stepping into the lion's den, and Price relishes the role of judge, jury, and sometimes executioner. The promos hyped this for weeks. Newsom versus Price, California's future on the line. Teasers ran every hour, promising fireworks and tough questions. Viewers were told to expect a showdown, a battle of ideas, and maybe even a few personal jabs. The stakes couldn't be higher, or so the network insisted. The topic, the California exodus. Are people really fleeing the Golden State? Stories of families packing up, highways crowded with moving vans, and cities losing their luster have dominated the headlines. Is it hype, or is there a real crisis unfolding in America's most populous state? When the show goes live, tension crackles. The studio is silent except for the hum of cameras and the anticipation in the air. Every eye is on Price, waiting for his first move. Price opens with a dramatic monologue, painting California as a failed state. He describes a place where dreams have soured, where wildfires rage and streets are lined with tents. His words are sharp, his delivery theatrical, setting the tone for a night of confrontation. He uses stats and stories to put Newsom on the defensive before he even speaks. Charts flash on the screen, crime rates, homelessness, tax hikes, each one a weapon in Price's arsenal. The narrative is clear. California is in trouble, and Newsom is to blame. Newsom, calm in his Sacramento office, faces the glitzy studio via split screen. He's surrounded by books and state flags, projecting an image of steady leadership. But the distance between the two men is more than just physical, it's ideological, and it's about to be tested. It's a visual clash, slick media machine versus cool politician. The contrast is striking. One side all flash and spectacle, the other all business and gravitas. It's a battle not just of words, but of worlds. Price smirks. Governor Newsom, welcome. Many say your state is falling apart. How do you respond? The game is on. The nation leans in, hungry for answers, ready for sparks to fly. In this arena, every word counts, and the next hour will shape the headlines for days to come. The clash is immediate. Price fires off questions about crime, cost of living, and business flight, barely letting Newsom answer. He's not after nuance, he wants sound bites and stumbles. Newsom sticks to his facts. California's economy, innovation, investments. But Price interrupts, derails, and keeps the pressure high. Newsom stays composed, refusing to take the bait or lose his cool. Price wants a viral meltdown. Newsom gives him calm pushback. Jackson, let me finish. You invited me to speak, not just to be interrupted. It's a tense chess match. Price sets the pace, Newsom defends and looks for an opening. The audience is riveted, waiting for someone to crack. The pressure mounts with every exchange. Something big is about to break. This isn't just about California, it's two Americas colliding. Price zooms in on individual failures, a closed business, a crime story, a family struggling. He frames Newsom as out of touch, championing the forgotten man. Newsom zooms out, touting California's innovation, climate action, and economic growth. Price's stories are simple and emotional. Newsom's arguments are complex and data-driven. The split screen becomes a metaphor for the country, emotion versus nuance, fear versus hope. Price senses he's winning the narrative until Newsom makes his move. 10 minutes into the heated debate, Price believes he's finally backed Newsom into a corner. The tension in the studio is palpable, with every eye fixed on the two men at the center of the storm. Price, known for his relentless questioning and sharp wit, leans forward, sensing an opportunity to land a decisive blow. Governor, your state's a mess. What do you say to people who've lost faith in you? Price's words hang in the air, heavy with accusation. Newsom pauses, his expression unreadable for a moment, then a slow, confident smile spreads across his face. The audience leans in, waiting for his response. You're right, people are tired of talk, but you've never actually been to California, have you? Newsom's tone is calm, almost disarming, but there's a glint of challenge in his eyes. The studio murmurs, sensing a shift in momentum. Then, in a move no one saw coming, Newsom reaches for a folder and slides it into view. Inside, a first-class plane ticket, New York to Sacramento, with Price's name printed in bold. The camera zooms in, capturing every detail, the airline, the date, the unmistakable invitation. This is for you, Newsom says, his voice steady. I'll personally show you California. Factories, tech hubs, housing programs, even a prison. No cameras, just us. You'll see the reality, not just the headlines. The offer is as bold as it is unexpected, and the studio is stunned into silence. Newsom lays out a detailed itinerary. 3 days, boots on the ground, a whirlwind tour of the state's most talked-about sites. Every stop is highlighted, every hour accounted for. It's a challenge, but also an olive branch, a chance for Price to see the truth for himself. Let's stop talking, let's go see, the ticket's paid for, do you accept? Newsom's words echo through the studio. The audience holds its breath, aware that something extraordinary is unfolding before their eyes. Price, usually the master of the moment, is visibly caught off guard. His confident facade falters as he processes the governor's audacious move. For once, he's the one on the defensive, searching for a response. In a matter of seconds, Newsom has flipped the script. He's no longer the defendant under fire, he's the challenger, seizing control of the narrative and daring his critic to step into the arena. The offer is now public, broadcast live for millions to see. The challenge is undeniable and the stakes have never been higher. Headlines flash across TV screens, capturing the moment for history. The audience senses history in the making. Whispers ripple through the crowd as they realize they're witnessing a turning point, a moment that could redefine the debate and the reputations of both men. Price's carefully laid trap has become his own. The hunter has become the hunted, and the balance of power has shifted in an instant. Newsom, now fully in command, addresses the camera with unwavering confidence. The spotlight is his, and Price, once the aggressor, fades into the background. The power dynamic has changed, and everyone in the room can feel it. Price is speechless. 5 seconds of live TV silence. The king of cable news suddenly dethroned. Newsom presses, "You say you want the truth, here's your chance, America is watching." Price stammers, tries to dismiss it as a cute stunt, but the damage is done. His confidence evaporates, he fumbles for talking points, but the moment is lost. Social media explodes. #Price plane ticket trends instantly. Viewers see a politician call a media figure's bluff, live. Price looks small, exposed as a performer afraid to face reality. The show cuts to commercial, but the image of Price's stunned face lingers. Newsom's move is already legend. The audience knows they've witnessed a turning point. Price's aura of invincibility is shattered. The narrative has changed forever. The fallout is swift and brutal. Price tries to move on, but the viral clip haunts him. Accepting the ticket would make him look weak. Refusing it makes him look cowardly. He chooses to refuse, calling it political theater, but nobody buys it. His brand as a fearless interrogator collapses. Ratings dip, late-night hosts mock him, and even his fans question his credibility. Newsom's challenge exposed Price as a studio warrior, not a truth seeker. The king of cable news has been dethroned by a single brilliant move. As Price's star falls, Newsom's rises. The move is hailed as a masterstroke, bold, strategic, and unforgettable. Democrats see Newsom as a fighter who can outsmart right-wing media. He's no longer just a governor, he's a national leader who can win tough battles. Price's authority is permanently weakened. Every attack now recalls his on-air defeat. His swagger is gone, replaced by caution and bitterness. Fox News stands by him, but whispers of decline grow louder. Newsom's gesture becomes a political legend, a new playbook for handling hostile media. The power dynamic in conservative media shifts, all because of one plane ticket and a challenge never accepted. What's the lesson from this showdown? In today's media wars, facts alone aren't enough. You need a moment that changes the game. Newsom didn't just answer questions, he questioned the questioner and seized control. Price's brand of outrage-driven journalism was exposed as performative. Newsom offered a new playbook: don't play their game, flip the script. Authenticity, or the appearance of it, still matters. Newsom's challenge felt real. Price's refusal felt hollow. The politician seemed more honest than the journalist. Sometimes the most savage move isn't an attack, it's an invitation your opponent is too afraid to accept. And that's what millions will remember.